Hey guys, welcome. Pai Oxala, Abençoe. Our Lord Jesus Christ bless you. Pai Ogun here, and today I'm with the video with the topic of Ori, or crown. This guy right here. Yesterday in the video, we heard my godchild Steven talk about it a little bit about his Ori, his experience doing the ceremony for his crown, and I wanted to explain a little bit to you guys what exactly the Ori entails and what's so special about this ceremony, right? Okay. Now, in Ori for us, it's kind of like the baptism uh, equivalent into the Christian church. Um, the only difference is you have to do it every year, okay? And the amount of years you do it depends on your spiritual journey. It depends on your spiritual contract that you have before you come to earth. So, Inori is a sacred rite performed in many religions, called different things in many religions, and done different ways in different religions. Okay, so in Candomblé they have their process, which I'm not too sure of because I've never studied Candomblé too much. In Umbanda, each house of Umbanda does it differently, but it's the same concept. Okay, in Umbanda, you usually sleep in the temple and give food to your saints, feed your crown. You do offerings for your saints inside the temple. Of course, no animal sacrifices because Umbanda, we don't use animal sacrifices. We don't use red blood. We use white blood, which is water, and green blood, which is herbs and stuff. Okay? So you feed your saint, you sleep in the temple, you're under this strict diet, under this strict regiment where you can't masturbate, you can't drink alcohol, you can't drink soda, you can't eat meat, you can't eat not no animal byproducts. You're basically essentially eating water and bread. Okay. Now, why water and bread? Well, water and bread have a lot of symbolisms. Okay. Water and bread represent humility. Okay. Also, water is pure, and bread essentially is pure as well. Just as Jesus Christ, he split the loaves of bread into thousands and thousands. Okay. So when you do yori, right, it's something so sacred and so symbolic in spiritualism that your third eye actually opens even more. And for some people, of course, the experience varies, right? So for some people, you might have them have nothing their first witty, as it's just cracking the shell open a little bit, or just bringing something else that they need in their life. But usually, after your first, second, third, or OD, you're already hearing things, seeing things, feeling things. You're able to grasp things better. Your doors are opening a lot more because you have to understand once you offer something to your saints, and once you dedicate your time to doing OD, the saints are gonna bless you because they're like, he's putting in his effort. Let me put in mine. It's one thing saying, oh, Ogun, here's this plate of feijoada, for example, which is a food Ogun loves, right? Feijoada is bean stew. So here's this bowl of bean stew. Okay, he's gonna look at it like, all right, thank you. But if you're sleeping in that floor for however long it may be, and of course each OD is different, okay, but let's say a general OD done in the temple, 3 days. Okay, you're supposed to be 21 days, but unfortunately nowadays it's almost impossible to do 21 days due to work and other situations. So if you dedicate your time, if you go ahead and go with Yodi, so many things are gonna change in your life. Like Steven was saying yesterday, I'm gonna touch up a little bit more on what he said. Steven wasn't in the best situations when he came here, and now that he dedicated his love, energy, time, he has a house right next to his new job. Job's paying a lot of money compared to what he was getting paid before. And it's funny because the one who prophesied this was his Ishu. And if you guys recall in my earlier videos, in Ishu is an earth spirit, right? His Ishu is Sech Cavedas, which is seven skulls. And it's so ironic because his house is literally almost touching the cemetery. So it's just ironic. But anyway, The Ori can be done in different ways, can be done in different places. If your saint, for example, is Oshasi, which is the saint of the Orisha of wildlife, Orisha forests, he can ask for you to do it in the wilderness, in the forest. You're gonna go camping there, you're gonna sleep most likely on the floor, depending. The most sacred. I apologize. I have something in my eye. Oh, jeez. The most sacred of rites done in Brazil sometimes are done in wilderness because it's the best way to connect with saints. Of course, in your temple that you go to, that you practice. For example, in my temple, it's filled with energy of the orishas because I have my foundations there of the orishas. However, there's nothing that can compare with you being in nature. You know, I remember with Steve, I did I didn't do a nodi exactly. I did how do you say it? An offering to Chango, which is his saint of justice. Uh, we went to the Smoky Mountains. We drove 14 hours to the Smoky Mountains from New Jersey to the Smoky Mountains, and it was 3 days before Christmas. I'll never forget it. We were up all the way up in the mountains, camping in the spring tent. We have a little Mr. Buddy heater, but that doesn't help when you have a spring tent. It was the cheapest thing available. Like Steven said, we don't care about money here. So we're trying to always save people money to just buy materials to do the things. So we're already spending so much money on gas. We're already spending so much money on the food and the weapons that you need to offer and stuff like that. That we're like, let me just buy a cheap $100 spring tent. So we had a little mustard buddy heater, a little propane heater. We had to keep changing the tank like every 2 hours because it kept freezing and keep running out. So it was really beautiful, really cold, really memorable. And I remember Steven waking me up in the middle of the night, like, Padrino, Padrino. He calls me Godfather in Spanish. And I'm like, what's up? He was like, I hear something out there. I hear something out there. I'm like, oh good. What do you want me to do about it? You expect me to be Tarzan, just walk out there and be like, what animal's here? It's not an animal. It's not an animal. Like, all right. I look outside. I see some caboclos, which are Native American warriors and priests and shamans that work in Umbanda on the right side, and they said, no, it's okay. That's the war cry of his caboclo, 7 mountains. I was like, oh, that's really beautiful. And then Steven's just pooping his pants inside. It's just really memorable experiences. And after that, his life changed a lot. And then once he did his ordeal, life changed even more. And that's what it's about. Honestly, it's just about positivity. It's about dedication. We're I know a lot of mediums, a lot of psychics, a lot of temples get bad reps for ripping people off, being frauds or being scams, this and that. Listen, at least in my temple, you don't pay to come in for a consultation. If you want to come and speak with an issue, you tell me, hey, Baiju, I want to speak to an issue. I can't guarantee I'm going to be able to bring the issue that you want. I work with a lot of issues, but there's limits to what I can bring. If you tell me, hey, Baiju, I want you to bring issue morcego, issue bat, like, all right, I work with them so I can bring them. But if you want me to bring like, issue, let's say, I don't know, issue ant, issue formiga. I've never worked issue formiga. I can ask one of my issues to bring him, but I can't guarantee it. And I know that a lot of people think that call us psychics and say that we're frauds. There's very fine line. Okay, even though I'm a medium, I do see, hear, smell, um, feel. It's just different. If you come to the temple, you'll understand what I'm talking about. I have people that come to my temple and from the door they're already feeling energy. It's because Umbanda, the most pure energy that we believe in is love, purity, and that's what we're all about. We're our goal is to help people. That's why in this is a little sneak peek of what we're gonna do. But what me and Steven plan on doing along with some other members of the temple is in 2022, this upcoming year, is to go around America, helping as many people as we can. Meaning, We're gonna try visiting some of these popular demonic sites and whatnot. And I could actually use your guys' help, to share with me some of these demonic sites, people that need help, and we'll help them. You know, uh, one of the places that we really want to go to is like Bobby Mackey's, which is called the Portal to Hell, the medieval house, that house in Rhode Island as well. We just want to help a lot of people, because there's a difference between exorcism, which is done by a medium of Catholicism that uses his power of might, his power of word and faith, than it is to receive a spirit, talk to a spirit, and work with the spirit. You know, a Catholic priest drives out the foul spirit's name, drives out the foul spirit's persona, his being essentially, and using the power of Christ, the word of Christ. We work with the messengers of Christ. We work with the spirits of Jesus Christ. So much so that at my temple you don't hear the enemy's name once. You don't hear Satan's name once. You hear God, Jesus, God, and Jesus. And a lot of people they get confused about that, because they're like, why are they speaking about God? Something's different. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today, guys. Just wanted to share this little update. Give you guys information about what an Ori is, what it consists of. Stephen's Ori, I believe it's gonna be like 7 days out in the wilderness. Um, of course, it's gonna be a secluded space. It's gonna be really beautiful. You actually feel comforted by your saint. You actually see your saint in your dreams. So it's gonna be something really beautiful. All right. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to drop them in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. Pai Oxala Abençoe. That my Pai Ogum bless you guys. Open your paths.